Mama's losing weight, Griffin's losing his temper, and she lost something pretty surprising. It's week 2 postpartum. If you're new to these videos, each week I talk about the physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of postpartum living. And let's start with the physical. Physically, I'm feeling good. I have lost 20 pounds, so I've got about 15 more to go. And I'm trying not to think about it too much because it's so early and it's so not the top priority. But I have been just tweaking my nighttime snack because I was getting into this habit of having like a mini feast before I went to bed, probably because I'm up 2 or 3 times a night nursing. So when I was finding those, I'd wake up and I wasn't hungry and I don't feel like I was sleeping as well. So now I've just kept it really simple and I'll just do like a piece of fruit or maybe some almonds or something like that or some tea. And then when I wake up, I feel hungry, I have a nice breakfast, and it just kind of sets a good pace for the day. So I think that should help like shave off some more of the weight slowly. And that's about all. You know, I want to start walking. I did a little bit this week because it was really mild here. We also, I think, are going to be getting a treadmill in the beginning of January. So little things I can do to start getting more active, but don't want to push it because I'm still healing. Paloma is doing great physically. I didn't share this last week, but our lactation consultant came over on day 3, and Paloma had gained back all of her weight, so she was back to her birth weight, which is really good for a breastfed baby. And she also lost her umbilical cord, which is crazy because with Griffin, it took like 2 weeks for that to happen. And that's what the lactation consultant said. She was like, gosh, with the birth weight and the umbilical cord, that's usually a 2-week marker, not a 3-day marker. So Paloma is accelerated, and it got me thinking, gosh, is she gonna like get her teeth at 4 months or something crazy like that? So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds. Emotionally, it was a harder week, particularly with Griffin. I think the reality of him having a sister now has really sunk in, and he's been acting out more. Very subtle ways, but particularly when he gets frustrated or angry. He either wants to throw something or hit. And both of those are unacceptable in our house. So we've really been practicing a lot of Love and Logic Principles, which is a book which I highly recommend. It's got a lot of great tips around just teaching your child about making good choices, basically. And it's all about them deciding what they want to do. So, I mean, last night, for example, he was frustrated, he hit, and as a result, he chose not to have stories for bedtime. And of course, he was very upset about that. So it's kind of like, was this, roller coaster of emotion. And so he was crying and very upset. So I went up to his room and I just felt so much compassion and sadness, really, for him and with him, because I just can see how just the reality of the world is coming to be, that there are consequences for your choices, that he's not the center of the universe, that there's disappointments, that things don't always go our way, and all that's he's experiencing. So I still didn't read him stories, but I gave him a little bit of a back scratch. We talked, we prayed, and I just wanted to lay with him for a while, just so he knew that no matter what, Mom was always there and Mom loved him. And as luck would have it, Miss Paloma chose to wake up, and she was hysterically crying because she was hungry. And of course, that meant I had to go down and nurse her. And so I had to leave Griffin, and then that upset him. So then he's hysterically crying. Paloma's hysterically crying. I'm just like, ah. It was one of those moments where I'm like, I wish I could just clone myself. But I couldn't. So I had to tend to Paloma. And then I ended up going back there, and it just was like a late night and just really rough. So what I'm going to try is spending really high quality time with Griffin whenever Paloma's asleep. Luckily, thank you God, she is a good napper, at least right now, and she takes these monster blocks of times where she's sleeping, and that's this golden opportunity for me to really connect and be with Griffin, be really intentional about it, so that when she does wake up, and she's kind of an all-consuming little baby right now, that he'll kind of get it and we have a good foundation and bond going on. So I'm thinking that this should help us have a better week emotionally. Spiritually, it's been a great week because I have just been in love with this new baby girl. I've been kissing on her and nursing her and cuddling and rocking and smelling her and just adoring her. It's just been such a gift. And it really got me thinking, gosh, if I can love her this much, and I am this human, fallen woman, how much does God love her? Like, this is God's child at the end of the day. Really, I mean, this is God's creation, and I get to be her mom, and it's a tremendous honor, and I get to teach her things. But ultimately, she belongs to God. And it's just a really neat way of looking at your child and at parenting and everything. So that's what I've been thinking about in week 2 postpartum. Would love to hear from you. Are you still pregnant? Did you have your baby? What's been going on with you? Share it with me in the comments below. And thanks as always for tuning in.